Hey everyone, Brandon from Brandon's Baseball Cards here. I've made a few moves recently in regards to my Rack Pack collection. If you follow my channel, you know that I've been pursuing 1977 Topps Rack Packs. And 1977, for whatever reason, seems to be, I've called it this critical cut point, right, where the real rarity starts to set in, for whatever reason, with unopened material. 1977 Topps Rack Packs are few and far between on eBay. They don't come up for sale that often. Oftentimes you have to go through an auction house, you know, Robert Edwards or Heritage or one of these, and you know, a 77 rack is, with common showing, you're going to pay around $800, maybe more. And so this is really the point where the scarcity sets in and where the inflated prices really start to set in. That you could still get affordable 78 racks, affordable 79 racks. They're constantly being listed on eBay. It's not that they're not cool, because they're awesome. I love 1978 Topps racks. 1979 Topps racks are really cool. But 77 is this, in addition to, in my opinion, having one of the coolest designs of the 70s, it's just a lot rarer. So this 1 year makes a big difference in the amount of unopened material that's out there. And so recently, in one of the Facebook groups I'm in, I had the opportunity to purchase a 1977 Topps Rack Pack from someone who had listed it for sale. And I'm waiting for it to come in the mail. It should be here hopefully by Friday. But this baby is mint. It is gorgeous. And one of the other racks that I have, that's a 77, it's a little beat up. I've shown that. It's got a lot of creasing to the header, and a few of them, there's some yellowing to the cellophane. You know, things like that happen over time with vintage rack packs. But this rack that I am getting is sharp and clean, and the colors are bright and crisp. But in order to afford that 77 rack, I actually parted with two rack packs. I sold my 1979 Topps Munson rack that I had originally, I got it with the intention of selling it, decided to keep it because I liked it, but then when the 77 came up, I just knew that I wanted this pack. And so I sold the Munson, and then the 78 Topps Lou Whitaker rack that I actually just got a few days ago. I found a buyer for that. I had a margin on both of these. I made a little bit of profit on both of these, and I was able to use that money to fund most of this 1977 Topps rack, not all of it. Some of it I still had to go to the bank account for. But, you know, to me it's worth it, because this 1977 is such a cool year, and it's, again, it's just where the scarcity starts. So that'll be, when it comes, I'll do a video on it, but it'll be my 5th 1977 Topps rack. Now that leads me to the next thing I want to talk about. Today I had a roller coaster of emotions, and I learned a few things, or I was reminded of a few things about collecting, especially about the collecting of unopened material. And I wanted to share it with you guys. I actually almost did a deal today to trade my beat up 1977 Topps rack. The header's all creased up. It's got some little tears in the cellophane. It's legit. It's wrapped by Steve, but it's seen better days. It's nasty to put it. And I've talked with other people about trading this rack, just because, you know, I'm getting more 77s, and this one isn't quite as nice just because the condition isn't as good. And so today I had a deal with a seller worked out where I was going to get about half a dozen rack packs from the 80s in exchange for this 77. And then a few things happened. I actually realized I hadn't shown the individual that I was trading with the extent of the damage to the header, because it is creased up pretty bad, and you know, it's not the prettiest rack on the planet. It's beautiful. It's still a beautiful 77, and it's a legit unopened 77, and it's valuable. There's value there. You know, it's at least worth $600, if not $700, to put it in perspective. Not that the value matters, but it does when you're trading, because you have to make sure you get a good deal. But anyway, enough rambling. I had this deal set up, and then I realized that I hadn't shown him the pictures quite enough where it was clear that the extent of the damage to this rack. And so I sent him a message, and I just said, let me know if you still want to do this. We can do the deal, but I wanted to let you know the extent of the damage, full transparency, right? And the gentleman that I was involved with the trade with said, I'd rather just hold off unless you have another 77 to trade, which I told him I do not, because I don't want to get rid of any others. That was the one that I had toyed with. But what I learned from this actually was that when the deal fell through, I felt relief. I was happy because I really like this rack pack. It's beat up, but it's mine. You know, it's a really pretty 77 tops. And I learned that, you know, sometimes the best thing you can do is nothing, right? The best thing you can do is hold on to what you have and appreciate what you have. And I try to tell myself this all the time, that it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? Collecting unopened is not a sprint. It's a marathon. It takes time to build a really high quality, cool, unopened collection. It takes time. And especially if you're targeting the rare stuff, right? And so sometimes the best thing you can do is just hold your own, appreciate what you have, and the right pack will come along. The right pack will come along. The right deal maker will come along. But you have to. But you know, I fight this urge sometimes. I guess I get a little twitchy. I get anxious to make a deal. You know, with some of the packs in my collection, I get anxious to trade or to, you know, buy and sell, make a profit on this, buy this, and I really like these 77s, so I'm just going to hold on to them. I really like them, and I'm just going to resist this urge that I have for whatever reason. I don't know if anyone else has this urge out there, but if it's a self-sustaining hobby, which it is for me, right? If I buy a pack that's outside the usual price range, right? If I spend $800 on a rack pack, for example, the funds have to come from somewhere, right? And usually the funds will come from, okay, well, I've got these 3 things in my collection that I'm not as fond of. I'll get rid of these and then use the money to buy this other thing that I really like. Unless you have an unlimited budget, that's how a lot of us have to operate, and I'm no different. And so if I'm going to move something, or if I'm going to try to get something, then I have to move something. But I'm at the point now with my unopened collection in particular where all the stuff that I have, I really, really, really like. It's rare. It's hard to come by. Like I said, this will be my 5th 77 rack once it gets here on, hopefully Friday, maybe earlier. It'd be great if it's one of those surprise early deliveries from the post office that we all get once in a while. Oh, this got here a day early. That'd be terrific. But I think there's a lot to be said for appreciating what you have and not feeling like you have to keep making deals in order for this to be fun. Holding on to what you have and appreciating what you have is one of the most rewarding parts of this hobby. And so I'm going to try to keep that in mind as I go through this, because the relief I felt when it fell through, I can't even describe it. I was like, yes. Because, yeah, as soon as we agreed to the deal, I had a little bit of remorse. And I don't want to feel like that. I want to hold on to the stuff that, if it's going to make me feel like that to get rid of it, I don't need to get rid of it. Even if it's for more stuff. And it was a fair trade. It was a very fair trade. There was a lot of stuff, you know. The other gentleman on the other side, he had a slight advantage, I think, in the overall value, but 6 rack packs from the 80s, 3 of them were 1984 O-Pee-Chee racks. It was a decent, you know, it would have been a decent trade. And I'm not naming anybody because it doesn't matter who it is. But anyway, sorry for the long rambling video. I don't have anything to show right now. But I will, in a few days, I will have this 1977 rack. That is just gorgeous. And can't wait till it gets here. I'm happy with it, and I don't have that many packs now. A few of you have been making comments. Can you do a showcase of every pack in your collection? It won't take very long at this point because I've really, really focused on quality over quantity, and so I don't even know how long of a video that showcase would be. Not that long. So as I get a few more in number, then maybe I'll do a showcase of everything, just so everything will be laid out together, sometimes it's neat to do that. But I'll quit rambling. This has already been 10 minutes, this train wreck of a video. But if you're still watching, I sincerely appreciate it. Hope you all have a great rest of your week. I'll be back with the 77 rack pickup soon. Keep collecting vintage on open baseball, everybody.